Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Ordinary Everydays, where I talk about budgeting, personal finance, debt payoff. So if you are on a debt-free journey, or if you just think it's relaxing to listen to people talk about their finances, welcome. And yeah, today I am super excited because I am finally doing a 1-year update on my debt confession. So back in May of 2023, I made a video talking about all of my debt that I had and kicking off my journey to become debt free. And I wanted to do an update because it's been a whole year to see how much progress I was able to make and just celebrate the wins that we achieved this year with paying off my debt. So, welcome, and let's dive right in. So before I get started with my debt confession update, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is Luisa Jewelry, who have sponsored several of my videos so far. They sent me these beautiful pieces for Mother's Day. So I have a green cabochon ring here, which is green and gold, and then I have a braided band ring here, which I love the details on both. I think they're just so classy, beautiful, high quality rings. All of their pieces are tarnish free, humidity tested. They're really high quality for the price point, and they start at $39, so very affordable jewelry. And currently they're having a 25% off sale for Mother's Day, to celebrate your mother, the women in your life, or if you're a mom and you want to treat yourself like I'm a mom and get yourself a little treat for Mother's Day, then totally recommend checking it out. All of their pieces ship anywhere in the US. They have free exchanges, and they have a 2-year warranty automatically included for everything that you get. So if you're not happy, you have 2 years to replace anything that breaks. But yeah, if you have a mom in your life, or if you want to treat yourself to a little something, then check out the link down below for 25% off at Luisa Jewelry. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's get started with my 1-year update on my debt confession. So back in May of 2023, I created a video, my first video on this channel ever, talking about all of my debt, and starting off my journey to become debt free. So at the time, we had just finished moving cross country, so I had a high credit card debt, and we'd made some kind of financially unwise purchases that contributed to that. We had 2 car loans that we were still paying off. So all in all, I was not in a good space with my finances, and I really wanted to make myself accountable to reset and come back down to 0 debt. So this whole past year, I've been working on that little by little every single month and making consistent progress every single month. So let's see what that all added up to be over the last year. So let's start back in May 2023. And we can see all of the different debts I had in May of 2023. And I'm going to go from the smallest debt at the time to the largest debt at the time. So at the time, with the smallest debt that I had was financing on a loan we took out for our dog. So we bought a dog. Very stupidly, we took out financing to pay for it rather than going to a shelter or working with a breeder and planning in advance. It was kind of an impulse decision. At the time, we love our dog so much, and we do not regret him in our lives at all. We love him so much, but I do regret how we acquired him and the financing we had to take out to afford our dog. It was just very unplanned and very silly, and I would not recommend that to anyone. So at the time, we had $1,146 remaining on that loan, and with a $0 interest rate, $232 minimum payment, but I was paying $535 to get ahead of when the interest would start accruing on that and pay it off completely. So that was the smallest debt we had at the time. The next largest debt I had was a balance transfer card. I had consolidated some prior credit card debt onto a single card at 0%, and I had been paying that off previously, and that was at a balance of $3,700 left on that card. We've gone through several cycles of going into credit card debt and paying it off, and going into credit card debt and paying it off. And I have a video I can also link below talking about my history of debt. If anyone really wants the full story on like how we got into debt in the first place and kind of the cycles we've been through, and I can link that in the description as well. But at the time, I was still paying off some prior debt, and it was at $3,700. And that had a minimum payment of $78, but I used to pay around $200 a month on that. We had a car loan. So we had 2 cars that we were still paying on then, and the loan amount on this car was down to $4,486 with a 4.19% interest rate, a minimum payment of $274.91, and I only pay the minimum on that every single month. So it's adding up. Our debt is adding up here. Next largest debt was my American Express credit card, which at the time had a balance of $7,687 because we had just finished moving cross country, and I unfortunately had to use my American Express card to pay for some additional costs that came with moving. We didn't have enough of an emergency fund to really cover all of the expenses of moving, or we didn't have enough savings. Moving across the country costs like at least $10,000 if you have some furniture and some kids like we do. So it was definitely really expensive. And that had an interest rate of 21.99% on my Amex. So altogether, between the Amex and the balance transfer card, that is over $11,000 worth of credit card debt. At the time, the minimum payment on my Amex was $181 a month, but I used to pay almost all of my income outside of rent and utilities to try to knock that farther back down again. So that was like a $3,000 a month payment that I would make if I could to pay off that debt. Last but not least, we had our second car loan, which we had just got this car the year before. So the balance was still really high on the loan at $19,700 at a 2.49% interest rate and a minimum payment of $301.09. So altogether, in May of 2023, my debt level was at $36,719.81 of consumer debt. I do not have any student loans, so that's all of my debt. And a lot of that, $11,000 of that is credit card debt. And then we have this financing, we have the car loan. So I was feeling really overwhelmed with the amount of debt, and I could see my credit card balances creeping up month over month. So I wanted to really get serious about tackling everything. My minimum monthly payment altogether was $1,067, although I, at the time, was putting every dollar outside of rent and utilities on my debt. So I was paying around $4,300 a month just on all my debts to try to bring that down. And I was using my Amex as my daily expense card and then trying to pay off the whole balance at the end of the month. So that's why all of the money outside of rent and utilities was going to pay off the debts as I accrued them. So that is where we started in May of 2023. $36,719 of consumer credit card debt. So let's fast forward to May 2024, which it's the end of April, so I'm counting it as May. It's been pretty much a whole entire year since I started this whole debt payoff journey. So where are we at now? How much have I paid off? Let's see. So starting again with the smallest debt to the largest debt. My smallest debt is currently my new balance transfer card, which has a balance of $6,202.18 on it. So this is a credit card, a 0% credit card that I opened up, a new one, where I took my previous balance transfer balance and my MX balance and combined them onto one credit card at 0%. So I took that $11,000 and put it onto a single credit card at 0% to get rid of this 21.99% interest rate. So I've paid it down to where it's currently at, which is $6,202.18 total. And I do still use my credit card as like to help with revolving, not to help, but I use it as like my daily expense card, and then I pay off whatever I spend plus some. So I think my minimum payment is like $200, but I always pay way over to account for all my purchases plus tackle some of the underlying debt. So I typically pay between $1,500 and $2,000 a month onto this card. And recently I was able to make a lot of progress because we got our tax refund and I got a bonus from work. So I was able to put some more additional chunks to really tackle that balance and pay it down. So that is my smallest debt at the moment. And then my next largest debt is that second car loan, which used to be at $19,700 and is currently at $16,814 with the same minimum payment. So yeah, that's it. Those are all my debts. I only have 2 debts right now. I have my credit card and I have my car loan, and that's it. We were able to Actually, I did not update this channel when this happened, but part of what I used my bonus at work to do was to wipe out we had this first car loan down to around $1,500, and I just wiped it off the map when I got my bonus. So that is paid off. We own one of our cars 100% free and clear. We own it, which is so awesome and exciting, and such a I don't know, it just makes me feel like I own something. I own an asset 100%. Yay. The dog loan was completely paid off pretty quickly after I started my debt payoff journey. And then my 2 credit card balances were combined, and I've been paying down on that every single month. And yeah, my second car loan luckily has a pretty low interest rate. So every single month, that $300 really does take some money off the balance. And we're down a couple thousand on that as well. So let's see all together my current consumer debt level. I'm currently in debt for $23,016.67. So huge progress from May of 2023. My current minimum payments are only around $500 a month, down from $1,000 a month. And my monthly payments are currently at $1,800 to $2,300 a month, down from $4,300 a month. So just to sum all of that up, year over year changes. In the last year, I paid down $13,703 worth of debt is gone, which that number, when I added it all up, I didn't really see that progress every single month, but when you add it all together at the end, it is just making my heart so happy. I'm so proud of myself, and I can only imagine a year from now how much more progress we'll be able to make if we keep this up. And just to say, this was not an easy, breezy, problem-free year. My husband was actually out of work for a lot of it, for around half the year. He lost a job, and the current job market is just insane trying to get a job again. And so he's looking at many options, but we lost his income. But luckily, I'm the main breadwinner, so I was able to continue to support our family through all of this time without seeing. This is the first time ever, because of my current job, that I have been able to do that, and I feel so grateful that I'm able to do that without going into further debt. We also had a major car breakdown that cost over $1,000 to fix. We had an ER bill for my son that cost $1,000 or so. So altogether, I mean, it's definitely been a little bit of a challenging month, a year, I should say. Not the worst year, but definitely not an easy breezy one. But we were still able to make some huge progress on debt payoff. And yeah, my monthly payment now is much lower, down $565. My monthly payments altogether that I actually do make are down $2,000 to $2,500. So I actually have a little wiggle room now to put some money in savings and allocate my money in different ways so that I'm not throwing every single dollar at debt payoff. But but it's still a huge priority for me. I want to knock this $6,000 balance completely out and start contributing to my emergency fund savings and my house fund savings and really start beefing those up. And I'm just excited for the next year of making more progress on everything. And I am really proud of myself for everything that I was able to accomplish this year. So tiny celebration for me. Yay. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Anyone who has checked in on this channel, I appreciate it. And I love being a part of this community where we are all, figuring out our finances together. I know it's really stressful and the economy is crazy right now. Cost of living is insane. And we're just doing what we can every single month. And we got kids, we have things happen, and it is not an easy time. But I do appreciate everyone sending out support for everyone out there. And yeah, if you want to join in, I'm going to continue to do updates and try to get back on at least at every 2-week schedule. Hopefully I can start doing weekly updates. I don't know. We'll see. Things have been really busy with work. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you to Ana Luisa again for these beautiful pieces of jewelry that I feel like are my prize after all of this time. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.